All right, here we go, guys. So I went in the store, so you guys don't have to. So I have the Fold 7. I went to go check out. It was hard to find the foldable phone for Google, the Pixels. Went to 3 different locations, almost 4, and we ended up finding it. And if for Samsung, you can go almost to any. They all have them. After the experience with them and owning this right here, I'm trying to get my pointer out. This screen, if you're used to, remember the sizes, right? So if we're talking about the Pro Max or the Pro, right? Or we're talking about Google, the XL, right? And then like with Samsung, it would be the Galaxy 25 and the Galaxy 25 Ultra. The XL and the Max are the bigger ones. So if you're looking for a bigger version, you wouldn't like this because it's narrow. Like, you can't tell. And I even made videos. I mean, it was hours of making videos to measure this in, 3 different forms of measurement, from where what people will say, the only thing that I'm measuring is not the outside. The outside's like, it's all correct, irrelevant. But in between the black bars, I don't know if you can tell what I'm looking at. In between this, you could see the frame and then the bezel. But between that black, I only look at the screen. So I was only measuring the screen. From this screen, you see how it's the blue, the black, and then the screen from here to the screen, and then you see the black bar, the bezel, and then the frame is out here, the blue. And so I'm just measuring it from the screen, which is where this, when you hit the black here, all the way till you hit the black here, right? And not the bezel, just the screen. And after doing hours and hours of measurement, laser measurement, tape measure, all that stuff, if I even have time, I would, oh no, I don't, I can't, because I was using the other thing. If I have any left, I'll try to show you the pictures, and it's just so detailed, which that's what I mean, is that they'll say, oh, well, they told me that the Pixel Fold over here, the 10 Pro Fold, it was 3 inches. But when I said 3 inches, it's wider, but 3 inches is what, right? Because I'm only looking at the screen size. I need the screen because it is narrow. And of course, even in the pictures that I took, there is no way to be able to set these up, or you could just tell on camera, it looks different. In person, you have to get the right angle. Like, it is one of the toughest to relay the message of finding the screen size, from measuring it from 2.5 to 2.6 to 2.75, and measuring this one, which is a 3-inch, like the main 2.87, what they're talking about is from the end to end. But that's not the screen. And that's what I don't know if anybody else is doing this, but I want to know the screen, because that's the most important part to me. Is I'm not going to be using the side, like whether it's 3 inches or 2.87, even if it's 3 millimeters, which is about the size of, take 2 pennies and pin, like, not pinch them, but put them together like this, stack them. And that's, you may see a sliver. So it'd probably be from, I don't know if you can see this number here. It says 66, 7. No, I'm just joking. From right here and to the end of this, where you see the black bar here, it's probably just a sliver like that. And you might think, oh, well, that's, 3, and it's actually a little bit over, I would say, about like right where this other number begins. So you might say, oh, that's just a little sliver, just a little bit. And it's actually, I measured it, it's 1/8 of an inch, right? And that's the difference between a normal size phone, which when I'm talking about normal size, I'm talking in between the Pro Maxes, the XLs, and just their regular ones, their standard, not the bigger ones, just their standard ones. The standard ones are this size. And when I did the measurement and I went in store, able to talk to the person, both places that I went to, shout out to them. They allowed me to take measurements, bring my phone in, set them there. They unlocked it. Were able for me to able to pull it out. Was very kind. On shelf display, which that's what I wanted to know the truth. And I don't see anybody talking about that. But yes, from this point officially to this point, they're exactly the same size. Now, the 3 inches that they're talking about is just the width. The entire, not the screen, but the screen from length to length is the same width. Now, one of the things that other factors, well, it is taller. That is true. It is about 2 millimeters or, yeah, about 2 millimeters, a little under that, but it's but I'm only measuring the screen, but then also what you have to include. So in lengthwise, yes, it is. Now I opened this one up. It is wider. So it's wider by, I would say, about almost maybe 2 millimeters wider. So that is the truth. It is wider. But it's a little bit shorter, but you wouldn't be able to see, just like this, where you can tell the time and, the battery percentage and, if you're what modem or, if you're on Wi-Fi, what network you're on. So that doesn't really, all it would do, the way that they frame this, even if it's shorter, it's mostly meant for like the slab phones. So this would be a little bit, I would say, in everybody's honest opinion, if you're not even doing by a millimeter, this is the same size. And this one also is the same size as a standard 6.3. Even though this is taller, the same size as, so if you would compare an iPhone Pro versus an iPhone Pro Max, it's the iPhone Pro. So it's a standard one. It's not the extra large. If you're a Pixel Google, it's not the XL. It would be just a standard one. It would just be the, Pixel Fold or Pixel 10. That's it. It wouldn't be the Pixel 10 XL. And for Samsung, the same thing. The S25, it would be the S25, the standard. It's not the S25 Ultra, the bigger one. So that's what it is. It's just a standard size. Which a lot of people, if you're coming from that, maybe I would say anything above, like if you're coming from an XL or a Pro Max, you're not going to like this because it is smaller. And you couldn't tell if I put a phone side by side, you wouldn't be able to tell in length. If you took it in pictures, believe me, we tried. You're not going to be able to tell. But if you do the measurements and you put it under the scope and you use the construction tools that I have, and we put it just exactly and use the laser, yeah, from screen to screen. Now we're not talking about that. When they do the dimensions, they're talking about the entirety. They're not talking about the screen. They're talking about the entirety. So it would be the bezel and the frame would be 3 inches, and then this would be like 2.87. But I don't. That doesn't, size isn't that. I'm talking about the screen. That's what we're using. We're using the screen. And so just to make it what it would be for like a regular phone, you see the black bars on this side and that side? Or we'll just do it this side. So you see from the screen here, the screen would have to come out at least past the black bar. And if you're looking at the XL models or even bigger, it would take all of this side, the blue and the black, and then a little bit of that black. And it might seem like, oh, that's just a little sliver, right? It's just 1/8 of an inch from a regular phone, like a 2.9. We'll put it in there. If you have a Pro Max, they're usually 3 inches. The other one's about 2.87, which would be this size. But if you're coming from anything bigger, you won't. It's exactly the same size as screen size. Now the curvature here, as you can tell, this is pointed. This one's curved. But once you open it, the screen is beautiful inside. They both are any size you go. But if you're in the outside, it is narrow. And this is the same way. It looks bigger just because of the way the picture is and the way it is, but nah, they're exactly the same.